copyright notices. If you wish to read, pause the video. The original videos are linked in the description down below. Enjoy. Alright then, so in this one we're going to be looking at Happy TV. In this interaction we're going to be looking at, like I said, Happy TV in his interaction with a misinformed security guard, which gets educated on public photography by his manager, which I'm so glad for. But I can really appreciate what Happy TV does, because it does take some fantastic photos. As a photographer myself, I appreciate the art, what goes into photography, finding the right shapes, finding the right lighting, getting the right settings, everything. It is an art form, photography. But we're getting off track. Well, let's just get straight into it.
From here I can, it's publicly accessible.
No, you can't
but it's public, sir.
I know public, but you're taking the picture of the inside.
Mhm.
That is not allowed.
But it is, because here's public, so I can take...
I know that is the public, but you're not allowed to take the inside. You can stick outside from the street.
Okay, so you should know from public right of way I can take photos.
No, you can't. When
Yes,
you-
I can. The law says I
No,
can.
No, you can't in the building.
I can. The law says I can.
No, no.
Where'd you get that information from?
That is for our procedure.
Okay, so that's your procedure, but the law states that I
know,
can
but
take
you can't
photos
take the
here.
inside picture, then that's the thing.
But I can. That's what I'm saying. The law...
That's why we told you. I told you you can't.
Okay,
That's the thing.
but the law states that I can.
No, I don't think about the law, but you can't take.
Okay, so I go by the law, I don't go by company's policies.
There's company policy.
Okay, so I don't go by company policy because I don't work for the company. I go by street. I'm a street photographer. This is what I do.
No, I know you can do, but you can't take the. You take the street. That's fine, but you can't take the inside.
But I can.
What can I tell you?
So what he's seen is something what probably every single street photographer has been through at some point whilst doing street photography. This happens quite a lot depending on what you're taking photos of. Some people get quite sensitive with the photos you take, and this is the sort of interaction they get. What they're not understanding, just like this security guard is, on the public street, you can photo or record anything you can see with your eye. So if I can see into that building like that, I can photograph it. And this is what Happy TV is trying to explain to him. I don't think he's quite happy with that, because his company policy says you're not allowed to, but is not on your grounds, and is not on your grounds or your property. So your policies don't apply to him. The law does. Like he said, he doesn't abide by policy, he abides by the law.
Can you say that?
You're saying that I can't,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
but I can.
Okay, I will phone my manager.
Okay, no problem.
Can you at the moment? Yeah.
Are you SIA accredited?
Sorry.
Are you SIA accredited?
Give me a second.
Do you carry an SIA card?
Sorry.
Do you carry an SIA
sure,
card?
Of course.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking to see it.
Yeah.
I don't need to see
Yeah.
it. What I'm asking is if you're carrying it, you should know that part of your training, that photography is allowed on a public street.
I know you can publicly, that's fine, you allow, but you can't take the building inside, don't you?
I don't understand where you're getting that from.
Again, it comes back to what I've just said. He knows he's allowed to take photos, but he is not allowed to take photos of the inside. It all comes back to where you are stood at that moment in time. The fact that it's on public property means he can photograph inside of that building from public property. Don't get that mixed up that he is allowed to go in there. No, he's allowed to stand on public property and photograph inside of the building if he can see inside of the building. That is what he's allowed to do. Just because your policy says otherwise, it doesn't apply to the public street. And I hope his manager Well, I know his manager's going to come down and educate him, but it needs to happen fast.
It's like 2 or 3 shots and then I'm gone.
JP, I got one of the guys, photographer. He takes the picture inside the building. I told him to not allow to take the picture inside the buildings. We're taking he can come to main reception down.
I can if I'm stood on the public street.
I know you're a public street, that's fine, but you taking the picture inside the building.
But you can take a photograph of anything in public.
No. Because
Yes, you can.
But I know up to you. You can from the building outside. You can't take the inside. That's the thing.
You can from a public right of way. As long as my eyes can see it,
No.
I can photograph it.
When you are working the security industry, you can't take the picture inside the buildings.
I can't take a picture inside the buildings
can take
because
inside.
if I'm inside the building, but if I'm outside,
But you-
stood on a public street,
I know
yes,
you
you
are the
can.
outside. I understand you are the outside, but you're taking the picture inside, facing this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like somebody would if they were stood at Buckingham Palace.
No.
Yes.
That's it. You taking the Buckingham Palace outside the building. That's fine. You
But-
take the outside the building.
Exactly. So if
But
Buckingham...
this is the outside, inside.
Okay, so if Buckingham Palace was built by glass,
Yeah.
you'd be able to see
But you
inside.
can't see the inside. You can't see the inside. Buckingham
So
Palace.
then why build a building with see-through windows?
No, because you can't take because Buckingham Palace you see the inside. You can't.
Okay, we'll wait for your manager then.
Okay.
I'm shocked in 2024 security still don't know the law.
I know you, but because when I work here, but we don't allow to take the picture. That's the way. Every time you come in to take the picture inside, we're not allowed to give you take the picture inside.
If you're stood inside a building then yes, but if you're stood outside on a public street... How do you think photographers do it when they're
I
taking
know the
pictures of celebrities
No.
inside a
But
restaurant
they need to take
or
the
in...
permission, isn't it?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
JP, you want to come in down? No, I haven't seen him. He's my manager.
Cool.
You chat with him. This gentleman taking the picture from inside. I told him to not allowed to take the picture inside.
Can I ask why you asked?
Literally, it's just purely because of the shapes. It is just street photography. That's all I'm doing
No problem.
for Instagram. I just explained to the gentleman that if I'm stood in a public right of way, that I can take photos.
No one's asking, telling you you can't.
He was
All I was asking was whether or not why you would want to take it.
just because I'm a street photographer and I do a lot of architecture of buildings. That's all it is.
Okay.
No, of buildings in general, old, new, and that's it.
No problem. That's all. Okay. No problem.
Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
So I think the Buckingham Palace picture probably made it seem a little bit better for him. The analogy that you're allowed to take a photo of the building, and in the building, if you can see it, Buckingham Palace, obviously sometimes you can't see now, they have curtains and all that sort of stuff, so you can't really see inside of it. But if they have got one open and you can see inside of it, you can take a photo of it. The premise is the exact same thing. In this instance, I'm so glad the manager come down. It just asked the basic questions what should have been asked, and like a street photographer does, they explain what they're doing, and that's the end of it. It's that simple. He told him it's there for the architects, the lights, the shapes, all which grabs your attention. If it grabs your attention, you got to expect people to take photos of it. That's just what I believe anyways. But I'm glad the manager come down. He asked the right questions. Didn't try pushing anything. He knows he was allowed to do it. He went back in and it looked like he was having a word with the security to hopefully educate him that what he's doing is completely lawful and legal to do, and not to really interrupt him or to go out and ask the right questions rather than tell him he can't do it. But all of this is just my opinions and what I think might have happened. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. As always, like the video, it does open YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.